Nyad is a 2023 biographical sports drama directed by Chai Vassaluri and Jimmy Chin, written by Julia Cox, and stars Annette Bening and Jodie Foster. Let's take a look. Hey there guys, thanks for coming to Cinema Bear. My name's Eric Ortiz, and before we begin, could you do me a massive favor and hit the subscribe button? I'd super appreciate it. Thank you so much. Nyad. Nyad covers a true life story of Diana Nyad, who becomes the first person that in their 60s swims from Cuba all the way to mainland Florida. And in terms of plot, that's pretty much all you need to know, because this movie is all about the effort, the sacrifice, the trial and error, frankly, the determination that Nyad has to complete this goal that she once failed at in her 20s that she just magically wants to do in her 60s. From a performance standpoint, the movie is incredibly well cast. Jodie Foster and Annette Bening are fantastic in here. I was really kind of taken back by just how good Annette Bening was. This is not necessarily a great film. It has a lot of the tropes of the sports dramas where, outside of it being based on a true story, the cliches are there and they're kind of like sprinkled all over this. But her performance just carries this and elevates it to just be better than the sum of its parts. And Jodie Foster is great as well. You really do feel like she adds something to the film. You never feel like these two people have a relationship that is nothing but them supporting one another. Or even when Nyad doubts herself, Jodie is there to support her, and vice versa. When Jodie's character doesn't want Nyad to go forward, it's like, no, let's do this, let's do this together. They are a team, and you feel like they are a genuine team. Rhys Ifans is also here playing the team's navigator. It's always such a pleasant surprise to see a comedic actor do a dramatic role and pretty much knock it out of the park. In many ways, the three leads of this movie just ultimately elevate this material, and which comes into one of the flaws this movie has, which is that if it weren't for the fact that this was a true story and that these events actually happened, I don't think as a movie it would be that interesting. From a directing standpoint, Chai and Vassaluri do a pretty good job here. Their cinematic style is very similar to what they use in the documentary Free Solo, where the activity is in many ways the star of the film, not necessarily the characters. And the characters in Nyad don't feel as fleshed out as they could be. I mean, you get a lot of Nyad's journey and a lot of her history and a lot of her determination. But if this was just a character written for a script, I don't think it would be that compelling to watch, because we know it's based on a true story, and they do this clever thing where they kind of cut in actual footage of the real Diana Nyad swimming from Cuba to Florida into the actual film, and it blends in. It makes it feel as if we're watching a hybrid documentary and drama. But in the end, if it weren't for those things, I don't think that you would necessarily care too much about the events that are happening. This movie could have been a very well put together hour drama, but ultimately as the film that we did get, I would say it's very Cineinteresting. I don't know why this movie really exists outside of the fact that it's a biopic. And I think that if it weren't for Annette Bening's performance in particular here, I don't know if this movie would have been as good as it ended up actually being. And that's my honest take on Nyad. I love Annette Bening's performance, but ultimately, just as a movie, I don't really think it's 100% worth your time, but it's definitely worth watching her on screen and do just an amazing job. Please come back next time when I take a look at Anatomy of a Fall, written and directed by Justine Triet and starring Sandra Hüller and Sean Allard.
So that's why there's an investigation for more suspect, and you're more suspicious death, yeah, and you're témoin assisté because you were the only person there.
Okay.
And of course, you're his wife. Now, looking for a stranger who walks in, kills him while you were sleeping right above, and Daniel was out for a walk is a shitty strategy. Samuel had no enemies.
Stop. I did not kill him.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section. Are you a fan of sports biopics? Are you a fan of based on true story biopics? I mean, Nyad wasn't necessarily Rocky, but you get very Rocky vibes watching it. It's a good story. Just I wish it was a bit of a stronger film. Thanks again for watching. My name's Eric Ortiz, Cinema Bear. I'll see you for the next one. Take care.